This episode of App Judgment is brought to you by Netflix. Go to netflix.com/AJ for your free trial membership.
Hey everyone, Eileen here, and welcome to App Judgment, Revision 3's mobile phone application review show. I'm back with Mauricio.
Hi.
You know, we've been doing, we just started Viewer's Choice now.
That's right.
And I'm going to incorporate that into today's episode. And here's an email from Dan. I like that you did a whole segment on the new iPhone, but I am dismayed that there hasn't been a review for Android's latest flagship model, the EVO 4G. I don't hate the iPhone in any way, it's a great phone, but I think since the iPhone is going to remain solely on AT&T's network, people might like a second option and a review to go with it. I will say right off the bat, I own an EVO 4G, and it is not perfect. It's a battery-hungry beast. The low light images suffer some, and some cities, including mine, won't have 4G coverage till the end of the year. Still, with that said, I am immensely happy with this phone, and I know others out there are as well. He goes on, there's more. In this email, he just said, thank you for consideration and all that you do. Your reviews help me find a lot of great apps for my new phone. Dan. Thanks, Dan. You know, I do want to just mention first off that we don't really review phones. We kind of just took a look at the iPhone 4's announcement. We didn't really review it. We can't review a phone if we don't have it in our hands.
Right. We do have this one in our hands, though.
We do have the HTC EVO in our hands, and I liked your email, Dan, and you weren't the only one to say, hey, what about the EVO? So we decided, you know what, we have one in the office, we are going to talk about it. And your email came in just at the right time.
Yeah, first of all, Dan, you're lying. You do hate the iPhone because you're an Android user, because everyone knows it's black and white. You're either a fan or you're not a fan. No, I'm kidding. I'm glad you enjoy the iPhone. It's good to be objective about these things. Like me, I'm actually primarily an iPhone user, but I've been playing with the Droid for the past month, and now the EVO, HTC EVO. And I was telling you, I was doing the pocket test, you know, putting one phone in one pocket and the other phone in the other pocket, see which one I pull out the most. And it's been the EVO lately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I've only spent 30 minutes with that, and the 30 minutes that I spent has been I really love the large screen. I like being able to type on the keyboard without really much mistake because it's bigger. It's
a 4.3-inch screen, so that's a lot of real estate. It's a gorgeous screen, makes typing a lot easier. I had no trouble transitioning from the iPhone to the Droid. You know, the thing about the iPhone is that because there's no tactile, there's no real, physical buttons there, you kind of start going off muscle memory. And when you move over to a different virtual keyboard, you start missing buttons.
Okay.
But it's been totally fine. It's a great keyboard. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the keyboard. I don't understand why. It's actually really, really cool.
I like it too.
Mostly because of the screen. It's huge.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got lots of things on there like widgets and what is it, Friend Connect?
Yeah. So what it's running the 2.1 and no Froyo. It's running 2.1 Sense interface. It's okay. It's not Froyo. You know, I having used the Droid a lot. It does feel a little bloated, especially, Sprint is releasing the phone, and it's got all the Sprint bloatware on there, which is fine, you can just delete it. But it's a little sluggish. It's the thing about Android users, I think. Well,
I'm going to touch this while you talk.
No, it's not. I shouldn't say sluggish because it's a really fast phone. But compared to the stripped down, just regular Droid interface, it's just kind of chugs along. It's fine. The thing about Android users, I think, I don't know. Brett, you tell me. They're mostly they go for function over form, while I think a lot of Apple users are kind of the other way around. They like pretty interfaces, and they got some function too, but there's a little bit more on the form side. I like the stripped down version of Android. I like being able to do something, do it quickly, especially on the go. I'll just phone in my pocket. I want to be able to check in quickly on Foursquare. I want to check my tweets, every so often. So one of the things on the Sense UI, it's got this here friend stream.
Friend stream, I said friend.
Yeah, it's one of the widgets in the Sense UI, and one of the strange things about it is if you tap on a link in that widget, it actually just reopens the Twitter app. It doesn't go to the link on Twitter. So, it's just kind of little things like that. you know, there's a lot of blog posts out there that are teaching you how to root the phone and install Froyo if you want to, or you can, without rooting it, you can just strip it down to the normal 2.1 software, so without Sense on it. So it just shows that a lot of Android users are just kind of meh on the whole Sense UI.
Okay.
So
yeah. Anything else about the phone? I mean, the front-facing camera. This is the first phone with a front-facing camera here in the States.
Beat you, Apple. Beat them to it.
And we took a picture. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we've
nice.
got a few photos. We used the front-facing camera. It's okay. You know, it's 1.3 megapixels.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as good as the 8-megapixel camera on the back. But you know, we've played around a little bit with streaming, you know, on the front-facing camera. One weird thing that it does, just like, you know, if you're an Apple user and you use the photo booth, it's a mirror image of the photo, and it does the same thing. You know, it took a while to figure out what was wrong. There's something odd about the photos, and it flips the image. So that's kind of one of the strange little hardware things about it.
Talk about the camera here jutting out. I know you were concerned when we first got it.
I'm a little concerned about this. We'll get a close-up of this in a sec. But so the camera sticks out a little bit away from the backing of the case. So when you set it down, you're actually sort of putting the lens, you know, on the table. You're gonna end up scratching this lens a lot. I already see some wear down here at the bottom. You know, if you pocket your phone and you got your keys in there or whatever, you're gonna, you know, this glass is flesh. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that. And like Dan said, one of the other hardware things here is that it's running the 4G, but in select cities. You know, if you're in, I'll tell you only the cities that it's not in yet: Boston, Houston, New York, San Francisco, and DC. So if you're in any one of those cities, like us here in San Francisco, the 4G is just kind of, it's not there. So that shouldn't be the reason you buy this phone if you're in any one of those cities.
Do you agree with him on battery life?
Battery life is horrid.
I mean, this is a new phone.
It's a brand new phone, yeah. It's a real bummer because it's an excellent phone, but you know, I've got to have it. I've got to have power everywhere I go. I have to have it tethered because it drains it. You know, I added advanced task killer. I've got locale. You know, I'm doing all these little things to try to extend the battery life, and you know, advanced task killer really helped a lot, but it's still not great, and that's kind of the deal breaker for me.
Okay.
This, I honestly think if iPhone wasn't releasing, you know, the iPhone 4, this would be my phone.
Okay.
I honestly think this would be my phone. I would make the jump, no doubt about it. But because of the battery life, because of the 4G aspect, you know, here in San Francisco, you know, if you're not in one of the cities listed, you're fine. But I would wait. You know, this is running, right now this is running the 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor. I swear, if you wait just 6 more months or more, 4G is going to roll into these other cities, and you're going to have the dual core Snapdragon coming out soon, which is 1.5 gigahertz and up. So hold off. The Nexus 1, I think, is still the phone to have if you're on the Android. This is beautiful. This is eye candy. You know, people are amazed by the screen, but you know, if you're an Androider, again, your function over form, hold off. I'm sorry to say, just hold off. It's not quite there. The deal breaker is the battery life.
Now, before we end today, I did want to ask you a little bit about the front-facing camera and using anything that resembles what Apple's going to be calling FaceTime.
Right, FaceTime. You know, I was looking into some of the applications that that kind of duplicate the FaceTime, and you've got applications like Fring. You've got, which we'll be talking about later on in the week, or maybe earlier, not sure. So we got Fring. The phone comes equipped with a Quick. You don't have Skype. You know, they've got an exclusive contract with Verizon. Luckily, Fring will work through Skype, so it's kind of you know, skipping that. Knocking is another application that does sort of a FaceTime type application, and it works great. One of the weird things, because of the front-facing camera, the camera's on the top left, you end up seeing this image where you're not looking at the camera, you're looking just slightly over here.
So you're not getting the eye line.
It's really awkward. Okay. There's something very impersonal about this. You know, I'm creeping you out right now. Right?
Stop, look at the camera.
Wrong, right? Wrong. They're not quite there yet. We've talked about knocking before. Not quite there yet. Quick is actually great now, but Quick is more of a streaming to everyone app, not a streaming one-on-one. So.
I'm playing with the kickstand. I do like the kickstand,
that's right? The little kickstand there. I have to mention there's a little HDMI out there on the bottom of the phone, so it's great to watch HD movies on here. It's great to watch HD movies on your TV. It's using the HDMI micro D interface, so it's a very, very, very tiny cable.
All right.
So.
Well, thanks, Mal. Thanks for hanging with the EVO for the last week.
It's so heartbreaking. I really want to love it. I really, really do want to love it.
All right. Well, maybe the next generation of it, right?
Yeah, it'll get there.
All right, Dan, I hope you're happy with this segment on the EVO. And we don't normally talk about phones here, but you know, we're mostly all about apps, but we can't really ignore all the really great new hardware that's out there. So if you have any questions or comments on this episode or any future episode, go ahead and email us, appjudgment@revision3.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and our home on YouTube, youtube.com/appjudgment. You can also subscribe on revision3.com/appjudgment. All right, thanks everyone.
Netflix delivers movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you get DVDs by mail in about 1 business day. Plus, you can instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies streamed directly to your PC, Macs, or right to your TV via a Netflix-ready device like the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Nintendo Wii. Watch as many movies as you want. Shipping is free, and there are never any late fees or due dates. Keep the movies for as long as you like. DVDs by mail, plus instantly right to your TV. Get unlimited movies 2 ways for only $8.99 a month. As a new member and as an App Judgment viewer, you can get a free trial membership. Go to www.netflix.com/AJ and sign up now. Be sure to use this URL so that they know we sent you.